I always say wherever Tommy Pham goes, he wins.
The winner.
It's true, dude. Wherever Tommy Pham goes, he wins. And here he is with the Buccos.
I'm in love with the good life. Can't give it up. Make it to the top. Keep climbing. I wanna live it up. The good life. I'm coming up. I'm coming up. The good life. Good life. Oh, good life. Good life. Good life. Good life.
Boom, coming in hot, Chichi. What's going on, brother?
Coming in hot, man, and it is finally over. Pete Alonso has gone back to the Mets.
Wow.
We thought this would happen. I'll give you the numbers real quick. We got a 2-year deal, opt out after the first year, basically $30 million 1-year deal with a player option for $24 million in year 2, which we know we will never see on either side of it, I would guess. What's your take?
I like it. I mean, I like that he's going back there. I think this is the spot that he, was staying with the Mets. I think that's a spot. I just really felt like it was the right fit. And I think at the end of the day, he probably told Boris, I want to go back to New York, make it work. If it's an opt out after the first year, I like it. Because if he goes out and does well, proves his worth, then he can get the long-term deal maybe he wants. Or he comes back, doesn't do well and gets the 2-year deal. You know what I mean? Like, and proves that he might be on the decline. I actually think this is going to be a chip on his shoulder. I think it's going to help him. I think it's going to help him, just continue to prove people wrong like he's been doing his whole life. So I think Pete Alonso is going to have a big year. I think it's a great sign for the Mets.
Yeah, I do too. And I think that the narratives you're going to see over the next couple of days are, oh, Scott Boras is a horrible guy, and that's why Pete got screwed. And on the flip side, like, first of all, I don't know if that's exactly the case. What's your take on those people saying that right now?
Nah, I think it played out exactly the way it was supposed to play out. I mean, he turned down 7 years, 158 in 2023. So that's real.
Yeah,
he turned it down. You know what I mean? 158 was on the table. He turned it down. That's the risk you take when you turn something like that down. Then he had a down year in 2024, and he's hitting free agency at a time where, if you're not Juan Soto, this isn't I don't think it's the greatest time to be a free agent slugger, but I do know one thing, Chinch. I think the Juan Soto effect is real. So if Lindor leads off, Juan Soto hits 2 and Alonso hits 3 or something like that. Soto hits 3, Alonso hits 4.
Or it's, okay, go ahead.
The protection that I really believe, you look at Aaron Judge and Soto, the years they had. Well, they had great years because they both are great players right in that order. You're trying to navigate that. I really believe Juan Soto hitting in front of Pete Alonso is going to elevate Pete Alonso to another level. I think the Juan Soto effect is going to be very real for Pete this year.
I'd agree with that. And also, there's a lot of people putting lineups out there, and they're putting Vientos 3 and Alonso 4. I don't agree with that. I think Vientos is great, and he's got a huge upside and everything, but I think the Pete power factor is what you want behind Soto. Especially he's going to be on base 400% of 400% points a year, easy.
Yeah, I agree. I also think, like I said, I think Vientos is kind of on a trajectory, and I think Alonso's at a place where he could go either way. Why wouldn't you want to elevate him having Soto in front of him and see what if he starts getting more fastballs or if he gets pitched differently because of it, or now you got Soto on first base a lot. He's at over 400 on base percentage. So many things could happen. Now you're talking about a 2-run homer instead of a solo. So
exactly.
There's something to be said. That's why Mendy gets paid the big bucks to figure that out.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, now we move on. All eyes now turn to Alex Bregman. You got the Blue Jays legit into him big time. That's a fact from most people saying that. You got the Cubs potentially in on him. And of course, the Astros are still sitting there. His history there is a whole other thing. So if you were going to handicap the race right now for Alex Bregman, who would you put your money on, even though you're not a betting man?
I don't know, dude. Actually, I don't know. I didn't think the Blue Jays were in, but I guess they are.
Mm-hmm.
They'd like to have one more bat in that lineup. I think that would help him a lot. I just don't know if I'm Alex Bregman, if I'm thinking about my future, the numbers, if I want to get towards Cooperstown, have a chance, Detroit's not a place I would go. For the next 5-6 years, to hit in that ballpark is not good for your career.
Statistically. Yes, exactly.
I
Cubs are,
I think the Blue Jays, if he wants to win right now, I think the Blue Jays have started to solidify putting Santander in that lineup. Bichette, Guerrero are back. They just signed Scherzer. That rotation looks pretty good, pretty deep. Yeah. So that's a place he could go win right now. Boston still seems like a great fit. That monster is calling Bregman's name. Seriously, you want to outside of Houston, Boston is the place that I feel like would be the best spot for him.
Yeah. The fans would love him. It's just Pedroia 2.0, very similar type, mental approaches to the game. The little guys who you always say, those guys, they sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger and they look like Rich Gentile.
Exactly.
So we'll see where that goes. And then, hey, the Buccos signed somebody, dude.
What? The Buccos made it? Yeah, dude. And the one thing about this sign is that I always say wherever Tommy Pham goes, he wins.
The winner.
It's true, dude. Wherever Tommy Pham goes, he wins. And here he is with the Buccos. It's a nice little sign, dude. I think he's going to bring a little toughness. Tommy Pham plays with a little edge about him, that personality, a little bit of an edge, a little bit of an anger to him. And maybe that'll be a good thing for the guys in that clubhouse.
Yeah, there you go. So we're pretty much the big guys, other than Bregman, are done. Who, right now, this is a weird question I'm going to ask you, throwing it at you. Who has the best lineup in baseball?
No, that's a great question.
You got Dodgers. The Yankees lineup's no joke. Mets.
The Mets lineup's pretty incredible. I have to think the Dodgers still. Ohtani, Betts, Freeman. Yeah, you got just three guys that are in their primes. I still think Freddie Freeman's in his prime. Guy's 35 years old, still raking.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
They just came out with all the numbers, like the projections for the season. Ohtani's projections are 41 homer, 40-something homers, 30-something stolen bases, and a bunch of strikeouts.
2.80 ERA with 300 strikeouts.
It's unbelievable.
It is so funny. You forget that he's still a pitcher.
Yes. He's coming back. And then you forget what their rotation looks like right now.
Oh, bro.
It's
10 deep.
If you talk about pressure to win a World Series or to win in any, this is bigger than the Miami Heat when they got LeBron, Wade, and what's his name? If they don't win a championship, they're first of all, they're going to be destroyed.
Chris Bosh.
Chris Bosh, yeah, I'm sorry. This guy's a borderline Hall of Famer, and I forgot his name. So if the Dodgers don't win the World Series this year, it will be one of the most insane things that's happened.
If they stay healthy, but Chinch, you know as well as I do, that's why this is the greatest sport in the game. If you're not hot and your pitching's not, if your hitting's not that hot and your pitching's a little cold, you can get beat in a 7-game series. And at a 5-game series, you can get beat too in the division series. So it's look at the Dodgers last year, down 2-1 to the Padres, relied on a bullpen to just go lights out, 20-some scoreless innings to win that series. So in baseball, anybody can win it, but the Dodgers have set themselves up. They are an absolute powerhouse this year, dude.
There you go.
Bringing in Tanner Scott and Snell and just go down the list of rookie Sasaki. Just go down the list of the guys they brought in. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah,
pretty incredible. They got the 3 best Japanese pitchers in the world: Ohtani, Sasaki, Yamamoto.
Yes, it's unbelievable. It's very crazy. Real quick, this weekend, big Super Bowl plans and who's winning?
Yeah, man. I think, dude, I'm not betting against Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. I'm just not doing it. Travis Kelce. I think the Eagles look like they have a better team. I think they're Saquon and all those guys, Jalen Carter. There's some studs on both sides of the ball. But I just think Andy Reid has something up his sleeve. It's like when you used to play Belichick. You're like, oh, yeah. How do you do that? He's been around long enough. And I remember back when it was it the Patriots Rams when Belichick just outcoached McVay, and they're like, hey, what happened? And and McVay after the game was like, I got outcoached by a guy that's 30 years of my experience. So Andy Reid is going to be a factor on Sunday, and I actually think he's going to come up with some coaching things where we're like, wow,
There you go.
He saved that one for the Super Bowl.
There you go. Does Big Lambuski come over to your house and just
Yeah, the big Lambuski's coming over. He's coming over Sunday.
ransacks everything in the house? I love you, Boo.
And he just talks about how good of a high school football player he was for 3 hours.
Well, didn't you say Mark DeRosa said he's the greatest
He actually was an incredible player, dude. He actually was.
Dude, he's got the biggest calves I've ever seen on a human being. You got to get those tested. Those can't be real.
He's a monster, dude.
Nice. All right, dude. Well, enjoy it.
All right, Chinchy. Love you, man. Have a great enjoy the Super Bowl. But
Yes, sir.
we're probably we might be on tomorrow too.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Get back on. All right, brother.
All right. Okay, man. See you, bro.